Hey, welcome to SAB Chronicles, aka the COVID Chronicles. We're going to dive deep into the teachings of a few of our CEO action pod groups spanning from 2020 all the way to 2024. This series takes us through the fire of COVID to post COVID, and now who really gives a care about COVID? If you listen to this series, you're going to gain inside knowledge of strategies of the past and strategies of the future. Hold on to your seats as you're about to get a PhD in business. Buckle up and let's get rolling. Hey, are you looking to scale your business from five figures to six figures or six figures to seven figures? If you are, I have the perfect thing for you. What I want you to do today is I want you to go download a book. This book is going to take you through my 3-pillar system. It's 100% free. All you have to do is go to growfast.cash. I say again, go to growfast.cash and you're going to be able to download my free international best-selling book, which is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. You can take that book. It's going to help you scale your business to the next level. Again, go download it. Be good, be brief, be gone. Growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. Enjoy. Okay, so let's go on to part 2 here of challenges and issues coming into first quarter here. Let's start with Artie, and let's see if we can't put our heads together and help each other out here a little bit.
Yeah, I really can't put my finger. I can't really put my finger on anything that I need immediate help with. So, so I really got nothing right now. I just got to get through this back end fulfillment. We're actually starting to see some light at the end of the tunnel. There's some projects that are almost there, and I think the marketing part is probably out on the horizon that we got to figure out what we can do with that, as far as where we're going to get some lead flows to implement the sales part that we have. We've got a great plan there. We just need to get the seeds in the ground. Right. So, yeah. I just don't think it's time yet, but it will be soon.
How are the connections in the developer world and the construction world? How's that going?
Geez, I didn't even talk about that. I mean, that whole B2B thing. I mean, Ed's done a great job. But you know what? It's so simple. The conversations are easy. Basically, what we're doing is reaching out to some builders, some electricians, some people that actually are in people's homes or businesses on a day-to-day basis, and just being on their radar screen to listen for certain type things that their customer would bring up that would lead into the conversation. Hey, I got a guy that's in solar. He probably have a solution for you, and do a lead that set us up with a lead like that. The what's in it for them was, and I explained real simply. I mean, I fiddle with some advertising. It's a few $1,000s here, a few $1,000s there that bore no fruit. I'd rather give you guys, a piece of the pie instead of sending that money out, because I know I can probably count on 5 jobs a year from each of you. So that's where we're at right now, and we set a number for 5 partners this month. To get 5 partners, and I think I dumped it in Ed's lap probably the first week or the beginning of the second week of January. We already have 5.
We just got another one.
So yeah, we got more.
Literally just now, we just got another one.
Okay. Yeah. So that's going to take a little while to cultivate those relationships, but. You know what I mean? There's probably going to be a handful. There's probably going to be 4 or 5 out of the next 20 that we hook up with. That'll give us 5 jobs a year, and that covers my company's expenses. my core company's expenses, right? So which is nice. I mean, it's huge. Takes the stress off, because before, I never really had any payroll. It was pretty simple. I just took care of everything myself. But now I've got payroll, and we haven't increased the revenue yet, like we should. But once we do, we'll get to a certain number, and basically my base expenses will be covered, and that'll open us up for some pretty cool stuff. The creativity. I just got certified for. I passed a test this week that I was kind of stressing, but for a product in storage, batteries, which is, I guess, the next frontier in my industry. So I fought it long enough. I got to start engaging with that. And I'm not talking about the off-grid stuff that we had talked about last month. This is, like whole house systems. It's pretty slick. And, I wouldn't be shocked if we could add another $300,000 a year locally, just in that. So, but yeah. So, like I said, no crazy challenges right now. I think I'm just optimistic about the stuff that's coming up.
Nice. Hey, you want to add anything to that, Ed?
Yeah, it's just like you said. We're building these partnerships, and Artie says the conversations are really easy. That's because I weed out the hard ones. There's some guys out there that aren't all that into it, but fortunately most of them are. Once you tell them what you're up to, and what your vision is on it. Artie, we just got Mike Sylvia, the plumber. Remember Mike?
Of course, man.
Trisha's ex-husband.
Yeah.
So
another Marine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, another Marine. Yep. Another Marine. So anyway, once you explain the reciprocal nature of what we're trying to do, everybody wants the same thing. They want to build their business, So when you tell them that you're there for them just as much as you want them to be there for you, they're, most of these guys are willing to dig in. But also, like Art said, we're still waiting to see the fruits of it. It's all pretty new. But I think part of that is on us too. We need to show them something, so that they can in turn reciprocate. But the one thing that we have to guard against, and I don't think this is just us at Reliable Solar, is anybody who gets into this type of arrangement. You gotta take deliberate efforts to make sure it's not fleeting. So you have a great conversation with somebody one day, you have a nice lunch or whatever. It can't be a fire and forget thing. You gotta nurture it. So we got to keep track of these people with whom we establish these relationships, and then that keeps it at the forefront of the radar. And then when we see an opportunity that might benefit them, we got to push it to them to ensure that in turn they don't forget us. So that's kind of the nuts and bolts of it that I see that we got to ensure that we're doing. So, but I'm pretty optimistic about it. I mean, I've been around here with Artie and with you, Jason, long enough now to understand that these ad spends and marketing efforts can be kind of nebulous in terms of what you can possibly project for returns. And I kind of like this approach because there's a whole lot more control, and there's not nearly the expenditure. So, but we'll see how it shakes out.
Yeah. And I mean, I guess there's always a lot of fear in the advertising world. I mean, we got quite a few agencies on this call right now, so there's always that fear of that, and it's more about what the market's bearing at the time, right? And some service businesses are doing just kicking ass right now, right? Like you look at general contractors, HVAC, they go through this feast and famine thing, right? And right now they're just feasting away, right? And then, the famine hits And then all of a sudden, well, every advertiser in the world is their best friend, right? Because, they have to get business now for whatever reason, seasonal or whatever the case may be. So all these service industries, it might be kind of scary being in that B2C world right now, because especially for advertising, because it is hard to predict results with that. I don't think anybody would disagree with that. I think obviously, other industries do a lot better than others, right? So like solar seems to be a really hard thing to have that conversation about advertising with. But if you got Terry's audience, I mean, it's a whole different audience of people, of businesses. And, who's your big one, Terry? Curl Mix, right? Is that the big one?
Yep.
Yeah, Curl Mix. So they're selling a product that's low barrier type of product. And that's different than trying to sell a, $60,000 solar unit, right? For sure. So that's just a barrier conversation is what that is. And that's not to say that these different mediums aren't good mediums.
Oh, no.
I think it's just it's a different conversation. And it's a whole different way of trying to do business in that space. And I just don't know if a lot of people have got it right. So, especially with all the digging I've done with solar and advertising and stuff like that, there's a few that have knocked it out of the park, but are they still knocking it out of the park now? That's always the question to ask, given our time right now. Looking to grow your business beyond 5 figures, 6 figures, 7 figures plus? What I want you to do is go download this book. The title is called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. It will help you grow your business past 5, 6, and 7 figure. Go download the book today, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and download the book for absolutely free. So
yeah, one thing I've noticed in the market research I've done in between doing other things is there's a ton of players, and the quality runs the gamut.
Right.
I've taken notice of that. You got everything from Bubba's trying to hawk panels on eBay, for DIY installers and everything in between. It's crazy. So I think that's the thing that and actually one of the things when I make contact with some of these other businesses, one of the statements that I lead with is, one of the main reasons I reached out to you today is because you've got outstanding reviews, and congratulations on that. That puts you in the same league as us, and that's one of the main reasons why I'm calling you today.
Right.
And that really seems to be an icebreaker,
Yeah. Very cool.
Could I make a suggestion?
Yeah.
Because especially with high ticket items, one of the big marketing barriers is that it requires a nurturing and education process, right? We already know that the average touch points have skyrocketed as far as what it takes for somebody to actually purchase off you, no matter what type of product it is for the most part, right? Just because they're constantly being bombarded by advertising messages and branding messages of some variety. So the amount of touch points. So for you guys, it's a nurturing process, and especially on the partnerships that you're looking for. That sounds perfect for a LinkedIn direct messaging campaign where you can drip out nurture and education pieces over time and build that relationship in that fashion, but do it on a scale where you're not having to jump from one phone call to the other. Are you guys working on the B2B campaigns there on LinkedIn?
Not on LinkedIn. I'm doing it all myself over the phone, and Artie is meeting with some of these guys face to face. But I'm a believer in LinkedIn. You know, I'm a gold member, and although I wouldn't say that I'm a pro at it by any means, you know, but it's definitely something that I'd like to get smart on.
And I'll tell you another thing that jumps out to me is an educational video from the business nuts and bolts potential earnings standpoint would be a huge asset component of this. Just running through the potential numbers and showing what sense it makes, because it sounds like right now it sounds like there's two big issues here. One is the clutter in the marketplace, because like you said, solar is something you can go everywhere and see. You know, you're seeing all types of messaging for it. It's died down recently, which you know, that now hearing what you guys are talking about leads me to believe that you guys aren't the only ones that's running into that, into a slowdown with it. At least if I understood what you guys had said earlier correctly. But that, so you got everybody. Then on top of it, all the solar approaches I've seen, they're straight sales, right? Let us get you on the phone. Let us pump some information down your throat. And people are starting to really rebel against that type of gated content, because everybody, you know, it was hot, but now everybody does it. And most people aren't delivering on the value on the back end. So if you meet them on the front end with some type of educational value piece that has no gate to it. In other words, hey, here, I just want to drop off some information to you. And you put that type of message sequence together where it's just friendly front load information where you're educating. Basically, you're fighting all the objections on the front end with your education pieces. So that once you get that relationship nurtured and you've offered them some material that's helped them look at it from a better angle, they're going to be, I'll bet it will skyrocket your conversions to conversation. And then that way, you're not having to fight through the gatekeepers. You're not having to do the cold call dance. And you know, as fun as that is, I mean, we all love that tango, right? But you're not having to do that, because you're front loading it. You're letting people sort themselves out.
That's a great point. That's a really good point. I guess so. You kind of do that with your HVAC group stuff, don't you?
Yeah, I didn't want to make it self-serving, but I would love to get that, you know, which is why I threw in there about the educational video, because you can start with that. But I think that long-term, a big draw for this would be a webinar-based funnel where you bring HVAC owners to educate them a way that they could easily add X percentage increase in earnings per year through this simple process. Something of that nature. I mean, this sounds custom made for an educational webinar funnel.
That's interesting. Yeah, and I think I've seen that in this industry before. I've seen the webinar pitching only on the B2C side, actually.
That's everybody on solar goes straight for the B2C.
Right.
So this is a USP that I haven't seen. Now, granted, you know, my reticular activation system hasn't been activated for this to be looking for this, but I haven't seen a lot of players attack the market from that angle.
I think it'd be good just to test that, Ed, in your own account and just do some outreach and see what happens.
The key is going to be how you front load the value, what you give them as value, and to keep it conversational and relationship nurturing. Hey, just wanted to drop some information off. You know, I do at least 4 or 5 nurturing messages before I got to some type of call to action or sales message.
What's your LinkedIn handle so I can?
Robert Fuller. You'll see it. HVAC owner, founder of HVAC Owners Group is the first thing you'll see about mine.
If we ever get unlocked, what I want to do is I want to run a social event, get all these guys somewhere, you know, buy a bunch of pizzas, a bunch of beer, whatever it is, you know, and
They're doing them now.
There's huge
You
value in
see
that.
people selling tickets to Zoom networking events. It's already, the industry is already pivoted where they're doing networking events via Zoom.
Yeah.
So these network events, I know it's not, I know if, you know, if you're I'm a face-to-face person too. I like, you know, I like to be able to, you know, be there with them, but, you know, time stops for no man. If the solution's already there, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, most of the people, you know, these other business people we're dealing with, they're out doing their day-to-day business. They're not letting the virus get in the way. You know what I mean? So I think a lot of us, like I know myself, I had the opportunity to meet up with a couple of people last week. It was awesome, you know, because, you know, doing this all the time is it just wears to me. I'm like, this is ridiculous. You know, I feel like I'm locked in a room somewhere where you know, I don't get let out, but you get teased. You're like, oh, there's somebody over there, but you don't ever get to go, you know, do something because, you know, and in this type of interaction, there's always got to be something going on. A lot of times you're hanging out with somebody, nobody's saying anything, but it's cool, you know. So, yeah. But yeah, I would just like to be able to get you know, a bunch of the guys together and you know, kind of bond a little bit around, you know, what we got going on. And then, you know, I'll put a little YouTube series together on educating them so they have the opportunity to say, hey man, bring these topics up and do referrals. But anyways, that's where I'm at.
Cool. Awesome. Hey, we all want to scale our business. Hey, I have the answer for you today to help you do that. If you're looking to scale from 5, 6, even 7 figures and beyond, book called Be Good, Be Brief, Be Gone. I'm going to give it to you for free. All you have to do is type in growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash, and you can download the book for absolutely free. I hope the book helps you this year. Take your business to the next level. Again, go grab the book, growfast.cash. I say again, growfast.cash. I wish you the best and grow, scale, and win. Thank you for tuning in to the SAB Chronicles, otherwise known as the COVID Chronicles. Hey, we hope you took a lot of great little golden nuggets from this episode. Follow us on social media. Follow us everywhere you can follow us for updates on all of our different series of podcasts, to include this one right here. We hope to see you back as soon as possible. And remember, you should always want to grow, scale, and win. We'll see you on the next episode.
Magnum! Holy moly.
Yeah, baby! That's what I've been waiting for!
Dear God, it's beautiful.